পশু পাখি জুড়ে পাষাণ বিদরে শুনি যার গুণ গাথা। সংসারে মজিয়া রহিলি পড়িয়া সে পদে নাহিল আশা। আপন করম ভুজয় সমন কহে লোচন দাস।
कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। 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 यमुनतीरावनचारी। यमुनतीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरदारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन 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 यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रये। Hare Krishna, welcome you all for today's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. So we are reading from 3rd canto, chapter 1, text number 7, and also we'll read 8th, because 7th has no purport, so we'll discuss these both slokas. So I will chant the 7th verse. We'll all together chant 8th verse. Sorry, Prabhu. Only that, yeah. Yeah. Yada sabhayam kuru deva devaya kshebha marashram sutakarma grahyam navaryam ashanupasum sunsayaha swasair harantya kuru kuchakun kumani. Translation: The king did not forbid his son Dushasana's abominable action of grabbing the hair of Draupadi, the wife of the godly king Yudhishthira, even though her tears washed the red dust of her breast. Verse number 8. Dute Dyute Tu Adharmena Jitasya Sado Avalambasya Satyavalambasya Vanam Gatasya Na Yachataha Adhat Samayena Dhayam Tamadusanaha Yat Ajatashatroho. Dyute twadharmena jitasya sadoh. Dyute twadharmena jitasya sadoh. Satyavalambasya vanam gatasya. Satyavalambasya vanam gatasya. Nayachato dyat samayena dayam. Nayachato dyat samayena dayam. Tamo jushano yadajata shatroho. Tamo jushano yadajata shatroho. Dyute twadharmena jitasya sadaho. Satyavalambasya vanam gatasya. Nayachato dat samayena dayam. Tamo jushano yadajata shatroho. Tamo jushano yadajata shatroho. Please recite. द्यूते त्वधर्मेण जितस्य साधो सत्यावलम्बस्य वनं गतस्य नयाचतोदात् समयेन दायम् तमोजुषानो यदजात शत्रोः द्यूते त्वधर्मेण जितस्य साधो सत्यावलम्बस्य वनं गतस्य नयाचतोदात् समयेन दायम् तमोजुषानो यजतात् शत्रोः. Mataji's word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Dyute, by means of gambling. Tu, but. Adharmena, by unfair tricks. Jitasya, of the vanished. Sadho, a saintly person. Satya avalambasya, one who embraced truth as shelter. Vanam, forest. Gatasya, of the goer. Na, never. Yachataha, when asked for. Adhat, delivered. Samayena, in due course. Dayam, right share. Tamaha, jushnaha, overwhelmed by illusion. Yet, as much as. Ajata shatruho, of one who had no enemy. Translation: Yudhishthira, who was born without any enemy, was unfairly defeated in gambling. But because he had taken the vow of truthfulness, he went off to the forest. When he came back in due course and begged the return of his rightful share of the kingdom, he was refused by Dhritarashtra, who was overwhelmed by illusion. Please repeat. Yudhishthira, who was born without any enemy, was unfairly defeated in gambling. But because he had taken the vow of truthfulness, he went off to the forest. When he came back in due course and begged the return of his rightful share of the kingdom, he was refused by Dhritarashtra, who was overwhelmed by illusion. Purport: Maharaja Yudhishthira was the rightful heir of his father's kingdom. But just to favor his own sons, headed by Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra Maharaja Dhritarashtra, Maharaja Yudhishthira's uncle, adopted various unfair means to cheat his nephews of their rightful share of the kingdom. At last the Pandavas demanded only 5 villages, one for each of the 5 brothers, but that was also refused by the Apsaras. This incident led to the war of Kurukshetra. The battle of Kurukshetra, therefore, was induced by the Kurus and not the Pandavas. As Kshatriyas, the proper livelihood of the Pandavas was only to rule and not to accept any other occupation. A Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya will not accept employment for his livelihood under any circumstances. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kata Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakammalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamshcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamshcha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prasharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vacharam Pangam Langayate Grimyat Kripatam Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Hare Krishna. So welcome you all again for today's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. So I pray at the lotus feet of all the devotees so that I can speak something from this verse. So here Sukadeva Goswami is now answering the question asked by Pariksit Maharaj. So what was the question of Pariksit Maharaj? Yeah. So in these verses, here Sutta Goswami is speaking the Naimisharanya and is narrating what Sukadeva Goswami spoke to Pariksit Maharaj. Again. So in the previous verse we can see Sukadeva Goswami said, King Dhritarashtra became blind under the influence of impious desires to nourish his dishonest sons, and thus he set fire to the lacquer house to burn his fatherless nephews, the Pandavas. So here the adharma of Kurus, even Pandavas were from the same dynasty, but they were separated by saying that because they are sons of Pandu Maharaj, so they are called Pandavas. But they are also from the same dynasty, it's Kuru dynasty. So, but Dhritarashtra, as we can see in the first verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavad-Gīta, it is explained there that he was physically also blind, and he was in the point of dharma, he was also blind. Because he was, as it is mentioned in this verse, today's verse, that Yudhishthira Maharaj is sadho. Sadho means sadhu. Means devotees, because Yudhishthira Pandavas, they were devotees of the Lord, so that's why they were sadhu. And whereas the Duryodhana and other sons of Dhritarashtra and Dhritarashtra himself, because he was Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So because they were against the Lord, against Krishna, so they were asadhu. So here it is described that how, the second verse, how Draupadi was, she was dragged in the assembly, in the Kuru assembly, in front of the, but no one could question Dushyasana, Dhritarashtra, and Bhishma was there, Kripacharya, Dronacharya, So all these great people were there in the assembly, but they were all silent. Why they were silent? They know adharma is going on, but why they were silent? Because they have taken shelter under Dhritarashtra, which is because they are all, it is Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purports of Bhagavad Gita, because Bhishma, Drona, because they were taken care by Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, so that's why they were unable to. If we eat the salt of a person, so he cannot speak against him. No? That is, you cannot go against him. So in this world also it is like that. And people, when they serve under someone, of course, sometimes they cheat also. They take all the advantages and they cheat at the person, and then it happens. But because Bhishma and Drona, they were following some kind of dharma. They were like, this is material dharma. It's not spiritual dharma, of course. That too, because they were taken care. So that's why they were unable to say anything. So, and also they were, after that they were sent to the forest for Vanavas and Ajnatavas for 1 year. And when they came back, first of all they were called for the gambling match. It's mentioned in the gambling match. Unfairly, Shakuni he made a, how you call this? Slides. Dice. He made this from his father's bone, I think, when he was in the prison, and Bhishma put him in the prison. So there is a story goes that there were 100 sons, 100 brothers or something, along with Shakuni, and his father was put into the prison. He was put into the prison. So then they were given only 1 grain to eat. One plate of grain. So everyone would eat little by little, and they fed only Shakuni. Everyone would take little, and they would give most of the it to Shakuni, because so that he will be alive and then later destroy the Kuru dynasty. That was their plan. Yeah. So he made this dice, this magical dice. So when whatever number he desires, it will when he puts the dice, that number will come. So in that way, he unfairly, they were defeated. Pandavas were defeated. First they lost themselves, and then Duryodhana will say Draupadi is there. Shakuni will say Draupadi also is there. So why don't you put Draupadi in the gambling match? So then Pandavas lost everything, almost everything. And then Draupadi also was unfairly taken. They were taken away. But that is completely, gambling itself is completely, it's a cheating. So because Yudhishthir Maharaj was truthful, so he didn't say anything when Draupadi was dragged. They couldn't do anything. Although they were her own husbands, but they couldn't help her. So in this way, they did all adharma, the Kurus. So that's why they were asadhus. Then later we know how Draupadi was saved by giving, Krsna gave her unlimited sari to protect. And Dushasana became he got first illusioned, how he was keep on pulling, but no, it is not, no end, so it's going on. So Krishna gave unlimited sari to Draupadi to protect her. And after, here it is mentioned that Yudhishthira is sadhu because he's a pure devotee. Not only Yudhishthira but other Pandavas also. Vidura, no, they were all. Even Vidura couldn't say anything. Why? Because he was also taken care by Dhritarashtra. So when the Yudhishthira Maharaj, once Dronacharya, when they were in the Gurukul, it is said that when he was sent, Dronacharya and Duryodhana, Yudhishthira and Duryodhana, they were both sent to find a person. Now, Yudhishthira Maharaj was sent to find a person, very impious person. Whereas to Yudhishthira Maharaj, it was, Duryodhana, it is said that you find a very pious person. And then they go out and they see everywhere and they come back again to Dronacharya. And Yudhishthira Maharaj says, I couldn't find any impious person. And Duryodhana came, I couldn't find any pious person. So Duryodhana is Duryodhana and Yudhishthira Maharaj is Yudhishthira Maharaj. So like this, we can understand by this that how Yudhishthira Maharaj was on the path of dharma. No, he was asked to tell lie. Krishna asked to tell lie in the Kurukshetra to kill Dronacharya. Ashwadhama hataha. He has to say this. But he was not ready. He was not ready. And then when Krishna says, okay, you can say Ashwadhama hataha Kunjara. Kunjara means elephant. And Krishna says to Bhima to go and kill the elephant named Ashwadhama. So that it becomes truth. But he says it very softly. And then the Dronacharya will collapse when he hears that his son, because Yudhishthira is saying, because he is so dharmic, because Yudhishthira is saying this, so he understood, it must be truth, because he knows that how truthful, how dharmic was Yudhishthira Maharaj. But because Yudhishthira Maharaj didn't accept Krishna's words, previously his chariot was in the air, because he was so dharmic, it was floating in the air. It was not on the ground. But when he said, no, I cannot say lies to Krishna, he said. And then from then it came to the ground. So whatever Krishna says, dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So whatever Krishna says, you should just follow it for the purpose of proper dharma. At that time, Yudhishthira Maharaj was put into illusion by Krishna himself to teach that what is actually real dharma by this example. So Pandavas, when they come back from their Aranya Vas, so they were asked, they requested back their kingdom. But Dhritarashtra refused because he was completely illusion. He was only showing all favors and all care only to his own sons, to only his own sons. And he also refused. They asked, okay, give us just 5 villages because we are Kshatriyas. We cannot go and beg like a Brahmana or do some. Be like a Vaishya. So you just give us 5 villages. When Duryodhana says, not even a land where a pin, where a pin holds the land. When the pin falls on the ground, even that much land I cannot give you, he says. So then they ignited for the war. Kurus they ignited, as it is mentioned here. As Srila Prabhupada writes, that the battle of Kurukshetra therefore was induced by Kurus and not the Pandavas. So Yudhishthira Maharaj being he is a Kshatriya, it is mentioned in this verse that he is that Jitasya Sadho. So it is mentioned that he is a Sadhu. Sadhu means Sadhu cannot fight. No? But how then it is mentioned that here is Sadhu. He is Sadhu because he is very dear devotee of Krishna. A fight also happens philosophically. Our Vaishnava Acharyas, Ramanjana Acharya, Madhvacharya, they fought against impersonalism, Mayavadis. And also Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantra, you can see. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminti Namne. So this is usually every sannyasi, every Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur disciples and sannyasis, they have this mantra. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya. But the second line, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. This Srila Prabhupada himself he composed this. No? So to go against the philosophies of Nirvishesha and Shunyavadi. So this is philosophical fight. The physical fight, sadhus, they won't engage in physical fight usually. In the history, for independence, some sadhus, some so-called sadhus, they fought for independence. Like Gandhi ji, he named himself, he dressed himself like a sadhu and he followed ahimsa. Where there should be himsa, where there should be fought, so there he didn't use that principle. So the Mayavadis, they should be fought against. In the present scenario, the neo-Mayavadis, it is increasing day by day. People, this understanding of Mayavadism, it's there within the people. So if you don't cut down that, so they will think, okay, going to ISKCON temple and going to and following Navaratri and following other festivals which come in the year, they're all like Vinayaka Chavithi. So yeah, everything is okay, no problem. Everything is same. Not only Krishna is there are so many other great demigods are there. We should also respect them. But our acharyas, they never did this. Our Vaishnava acharyas, they were against this. In fact, Ramanjana Acharya said that even if you are being, if you are going to be killed by someone is chasing you to kill you, so don't go into a demigod's temple. So he was so strict. Don't take shelter in the demigod's temple. Better you sacrifice yourself. You chant the holy name of the Lord, and better sacrifice yourself. So he was so much against. So we should speak against this, the Mayavadism. Our philosophy, our Krishna consciousness philosophy, to establish that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there is no any second person. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Ara Sabhavritya. So if you establish this, then that is the real purpose of our Krishna consciousness movement, to establish that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, otherwise, this will be going on. No, people will be coming and they will be hearing lectures, they will be following everything, and they go out with this understanding. Because we are not speaking about this, so they will think, oh, it's okay, no problem. One day we can also go to some other bogus guru, or we can hear anywhere. No, we can follow anything, any ritual, Mauna Vrata or any Vrata. No, that is also spiritual. They will go with this understanding if you don't speak about this. And Srila Prabhupada himself, he spoke very strongly against Mayavadis and Shunyavadis. When we hear his lectures, we can find that he is very much against. But in the current scenario in our society, we are not much emphasizing. Lecture means, okay, some few stories here and there, and then some philosophy here and there, and then finish the lecture. So that will not make people understand what is the purpose actually behind our philosophy. Now Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, in Śrīmad-Bhāgavad-Gita, it is establishing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it is completely against the philosophies, other philosophies, and especially Mayavadis, the Shunyavadis, these philosophies. So if you establish this, then we become separate from them. Otherwise they think, okay, this organization also is doing some food distribution, Annadanam, that organization is doing it. So everything is, everyone is doing good to the society. If people are not against, Srila Prabhupada said, if your people are not against our philosophy, then there is no preaching. People should come against us. They should speak against us. Then that means that some preaching is going on about Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, they think, okay, everything is same. ISKCON is same. ISKCON, they have beautiful deities in the temple. So we can go and take darshan, take some prasadam in Govindas, and they get satisfied like that. But that is not the purpose of ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada said that we should preach this as it is, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Why Srila Prabhupada mentioned Bhagavad Gita? As it is. So what all is there in Bhagavad Gita, we should speak it as it is, without any interpretation, without any giving our own ideas. Of course, we don't do that. So we should present it as it is. So I will read from Speaking Strongly in Srila Prabhupada Service by his name is Bhakti Krsna Maharaj, the first. So in this book, there are more than, of course, all of the quotes given by Maharaj are from Srila Prabhupada books, and conversations, morning walks. So I'll read from Preaching Means Fighting, from this section, 2-3 paras maybe. Srila Prabhupada fought for Krishna. He made no secret that his manifesto was meant to bring about a revolution in the impious life of a misdirected civilization. To effect this, he tirelessly promoted Krishna consciousness, also emphasizing the need to do so energetically, effectively and aggressively. So, Srila Prabhupada did this energetically, effectively and aggressively. He challenged everyone in the world and every theory that even subtly opposed the acceptance of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the maximum that the sole duty of every jiva is sole duty of every jiva is totally unmitigated surrender at Krishna's lotus feet. Our fighting is against atheism. They say there is no God. God is dead. I am God. You are God. We are fighting against these principles. So our fighting is very strong. Don't think that we are sitting idly. I have come here to fight with this atheist. We go everywhere. We are fighting with atheists all over the world. So this is from a lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So what means fighting? We are fighting with, we are not having AK-47s. Our AK-47 is Srila Prabhupada books. No? You have to go with these weapons, bombs. Srila Prabhupada said, no? His books are like time bombs. So we have to put in the hands of this misdirected civilization, conditioned souls. So like this we can fight aggressively, effectively and energetically. Atheists may be very expert in mental speculation and may be so-called great philosophers, but they can be defeated by a Vaishnava firmly situated in the conviction of God consciousness, following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All the preachers engaged in the service of ISKCON should be very expert in putting forward strong arguments and defeating all types of atheists. So this comment is by Maharaj. We have to fight, otherwise what is the meaning of preaching? So preaching means, Srila Prabhupada said, preaching means fighting. If you think that everything will be accepted very easily, then what is the necessity of preaching? Now if we think that okay, people will accept, if we just go out with books, if we show them, no, they will accept. Give them some prasadam, they will automatically come to Krishna consciousness. That will not happen. We should shake them, we should hook them, we should preach them. We should give, like that we have to give the books in their hand. They refuse, but we should politely, humbly, requestingly, we have to push the book in this. Srila Prabhupada said, no? Hook or kuruk, give a book to the person. So these rascals will not understand Krishna. Just like the owl, this is by Srila Prabhupada. The owl will never open his eyes to see that there is sunlight. However, you may say, Mr. Owl, please open your eyes and see the sun. No, there is no sun, I don't see. The owl civilization. So, you have to fight with these owls. You must be very strong. Especially the sannyasis. We have to fight with the owls. We have to open their eyes by force. This Krishna consciousness movement is a fight against all the owls. This is by Srila Prabhupada in his lecture. Fight must go on. Fight cannot be stopped. So fight like brave soldiers. Krishna will help you. Don't make any compromise. No truce with these demons. No truce with these demons. Fight must be. So there is a quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prema pracharena ara pashanda dhanana dui karya dvadhutya karena brahmana. So for two purposes, to spread the cult of bhakti and to defeat the subdue of atheist, Lord Nityananda, the most dedicated devotee of the Lord, moved throughout the country. So Nityananda Prabhu, he traveled everywhere. So not to take just give darshan to everyone or take some advantage of the holy dham, but to preach Pashanda Dalina, the atheists. Prema Pracharena means preaching the cult of bhakti, Pashanda. Pashanda Dalina means subduing atheists. So in his purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada commented, Lord Krishna appears in every millennium for two purposes, namely to deliver the devotees and to kill the non-devotees. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya jatiskritam dharma samsthapanardaya sambhavami yuge yuge. His devotees also have two similar purposes, to preach the bhakti cult of Krishna consciousness and defeat all kinds of agnostics and atheist demons. Nityananda Prabhu carried out the order of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this way, and those who strictly follow Nityananda Prabhu perform the same activities. As a strict follower of Nityananda Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada was uncompromising, and to many must have seemed extreme in instincts, insisting that surrender to Krishna in the only goal of life is the only goal of life, and that all else is nonsense. He was not always belligerent, but his occasional aggressive tactics showed us that holy men sometimes have to be hell firemen. As Srila Prabhupada said, sometimes when we preach, we have to act like Kshatriyas. But it was not only sometimes that Srila Prabhupada would provoke and agnostize people. For instance, once in Japan, where few people were interested to assist the devotees, he blasted the Mayavadi concepts of the Indian man who until then had been helping his disciples. So there's in Japan, one Indian man, he was helping the devotees, but he was with Mayavadi conception. Then. But Srila Prabhupada, he, until then, Srila Prabhupada comment, never mind, one day he will appreciate how we have chastised him for his rascaldom. Another time, speaking to a man in Kolkata, Prabhupada said, Krishna is the Supreme Lord and all others are demigods. The man became a little nervous and quoted a popular Bengali impersonalist who thought that all gods and all methods of worship are the same. Jatomat tatopad. He is an upstart. Prabhupada said, that is not the teaching of the Gita. What is this other teaching? It is all utter confusion. If you go on speaking like this, the man said angrily, I'll have to leave this place. Please don't criticize the Paramahamsas. Why not? Prabhupada said. He is concoctor. The man got up and left, calling out, you don't know Krishna, as he left the room. So this is what happened with that man. No, he just left. So Srila Prabhupada was so strong that against these philosophies. By this we can understand. Similar to this, several occasions Srila Prabhupada got into shouting matches, mostly with Indians. He described his preaching techniques. I am a little temperamental. I used to use words like rascal and so on. I never compromised. They used to call it preaching with a pickaxe in one hand and Bhagavatam in other hand. This is how I preached, Srila Prabhupada said. One hand there is a pickaxe and another hand Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So this is how a sadhu, Vishnu was that he is called sadhus and we are also called sadhus. So sadhu has to also fight for the real dharma, which is to present that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Arasabhabhritya and this Krishna consciousness philosophy straightforwardly, without any compromises, without any jumping, crossing over. Should present it as it is. Then only the sincere people who understand this, they only come. Srila Prabhupada said, I want millions of moons. There are so many stars. So many stars are there, but the stars are they're rascals. I want moon, Prabhupada said. Millions of moons, Prabhupada said. Hare Krishna. I hope I made you understand something from this Prabhu. Any comments, questions, Prabhuji? Yes, Prabhu.
प्रभु जी, आपने बताया कि इस श्लोक में आया है युधिष्ठिर महाराज जी के लिए अजात शत्रु, मतलब जिनका कोई शत्रु नहीं है, लेकिन हम देखते हैं पूरे युधिष्ठिर महाराज पूरे शत्रुओं से घिरे हुए थे, तो आप कैसे हमको
युधिष्ठिर महाराज कभी किसी को शत्रु नहीं माने, कभी किसी को शत्रु के रूप में नहीं देखे, इसलिए वो अजात शत्रु है। तो यही इसका आंसर है, कभी वो नहीं देखे, क्योंकि वो भगवान के भक्त है, शुद्ध भक्त है, तो उनके अंदर हजारों गुण है, दिव्य गुण है, तो ये एक गुण है उनका, तो अजात शत्रु।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you so much for wonderful class. Prabhuji, here in the shloka, the word comes Satya Avalambasya for Yudhishthir Maharaj. He is for eagerness of Satya, symbolism of Satya, truthfulness. And we see by Dyuta, gambling, truthfulness is destroyed.
Yeah.
But so is so much Satya Avalambasya that he tell that Draupadi he given, so he don't speak words, and then when and something more happened, then also he was Satya Avalambasya. But in Dyuta he accepted the playing, so in that case is Satya Avalambasya is not destroyed.
Srila Prabhupada says this, that if a Kshatriya is invited for a match, anything, can be anything, fight or gambling match or anything, so they should not refuse if they are invited, if they are called. So in that way, he followed that Kshatriya principle.
But he rejected his Satya Avalambasya principle.
How?
By Dyuta, because by Dyuta Satya is
by
rejected.
gambling.
Yes. Yeah. So how he can do just name of challenging, that someone is challenging, I will do religious activities, like that also is possible. If someone is challenging, so I will do religious activity. But if someone is coming to my shelter and crying, but I will not give him shelter.
Okay.
Because that time Satya Avalambasya, but other time, so how we can understand this?
Repeat it once again, Prabhu. I did not understand.
So he is Satya Avalambasya.
Yeah.
So someone is challenging him, the Kshatriya
Yes.
should not reject. But how he can do sinful, how he can break his Satya Avalambasya, engage in sinful activity just because someone is challenging. And in the same manner, if someone comes to Kshatriya to take shelter, then he should give shelter. That is
Yes.
Kshatriya first duty. But Draupadi came, that time he maintained the Satya Avalambasya position, but other time he rejected. So how to
But
understand?
that was the
this?
condition in the gambling match. That was the condition. That once they lost, so they cannot have the right on it. So they were, before the gambling match, there were some principles they followed. So gambling match itself, you are saying that it is breaking the principle of Satya Avalambasya. But he followed this, that Kshatriya has to accept the challenge. So it is contradicting, but he has to do that, because if he don't go, then he will call, he's coward, he's afraid. So, and also Shakuni, he played a unfair game. If the dice were, for example, he knows and Duryodhana knows that they were magical dice. Whichever number they wish, they will get it. But they didn't, from the first principle itself, they didn't do it properly. from the first place itself. No, they know they want to cheat them, they want to make them completely empty hand. So that's why they played this game. But Pandavas, they don't know, they thought this might be a normal dice. So in that way they played this, and this is all plan of the Lord. Overall, if you see in plan of the Lord, Radhakant Prabhu.
Actually, playing the game of dice is not breaking the Satyavalambasya principle. Okay, that is fundamental. Like, king is in the assembly and then some women are dancing there. Okay, for king to watch women dancing is not something breaking four regulative principles. He is not, even a king engaged in amorous affairs with a servant having children is accepted. It is not like breaking the regulative principle. Okay, it's allowed for the king. So similarly for the kings, playing game of dice is allowed. It's not like breaking the principle. And especially Yudhishthira Maharaj is not interested in game of dice. The pretext is just to improve our relations. Okay, generally in the sports, when we are all sitting on a dining table and eating prasadam together, so these things will enhance the relationships. So far we have been spoiled our relations, so let us improve our relations. So on that pretext, Dhritarashtra invites and Yudhishthira Maharaj accepts. So there was no question of Yudhishthira Maharaj is not following Satya principle anytime. Okay, just by playing game of dice. So that way we should think.
Yes, bro. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Radhakant Prabhuji told that king's dancing was there, but this is not dancing. This is more than they were making the Draupadi naked. So this is not king used to do, I think. So how dancing, Prabhuji told like that?
He gave an example.
But here example is different. It's not dancing. Here it is she is being naked completely. So this is not normal in kingdom.
Just playing gambling. See, generally if I go and play gambling, कहीं बैठ के मैं gambling खेला तो मेरे लिए तो it's a regulative, breaking the regulative principle. But when a kings go and play the gambling, it's not. Just like if a king watching women dancing is not any breaking the regulative principle. Even for the citizens, general citizens, it is not whoever is sitting in the assembly of the king, some women folk will come and dance. It's not. So even Draupadi being pulled into the assembly, Duryodhana gave a justification. He is not Kulastri, you cannot do it. You cannot mishandle a Kulastri, but now she is a Dasi. Her status is Dasi. So Dasi can be, you can do anything with a Dasi. Like that, he display his cruelty. I mean, overnight, like all the Pandavas, not overnight, within few minutes, Pandavas became Dasas and then Draupadi became Dasi. So we can do anything to them. Like that, he gives justification. So there is dharma and there is dharma sukshma. So everywhere we will have justifications to support our argument. But if someone is doing for the pleasure of Krishna, someone is doing for the pleasure of his own senses. So that way, like ultimately the righteousness is decided. So in the case of Dhritarashtra, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was playing games as a Kshatriya. Game of dice is as a Kshatriya. For Kshatriyas, it's allowed. So, and just like they are allowed to do many things, like they can live rich, royal life. For a Kshatriya, live a royal life is not something, they can kill animal, they can go hunt animals, and they can bring that prey and then cook and eat meat or whatever. It's not something abnormal, in social point of view. And definitely there are some Kshatriyas who will be exemplary, even they will stop doing that also being Kshatriya. Exemplary. But in general it is not to be considered as something wrong, breaking the four regulative principle that way. So when it comes to Draupadi's, again this social order is also given as a justification by Duryodhan. And since Dhritarashtra didn't open his mouth, rest all the people are not allowed to speak against the king in the assembly, unless king asks for counsel. So king was not asking for counsel. So people all kept mum, including Vidura. Nobody opened their mouth. So that is how the social structure is made in at that time. I mean, people would have that value. It's a king, king will have that value. But same thing may not be possible at this current situation, current
world
society. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I have one more question that is different question. So like we are told about pranam mantra that Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so many sannyasi of pranam mantra, Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya. They directly landed from Krishna Prishtaya, from the Golok Vrindavan. And so, and many of our gurus and sannyasis in ISKCON also, they have this pranam mantra. But the guru can be can come from spiritual world also, and can be sadhan siddha also. So how that every guru is compulsory pranam mantra is feel like that? It has become like that.
When they take sannyasa, so that is a higher social order, higher status spiritually. So they are given that title, Namo. Translation, Namo Vishnu Padaya. Yeah. Having taken shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Sorry, bro? Yeah. Who is very dear to Krishna.
And what is meaning of bhutale? In this meaning is not there.
Yeah. Your question is answered, bro.
Yes, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So just clarifying that you told that we have to speak strongly, and then you gave example of Srila Prabhupada. But just my opinion that because Srila Prabhupada could speak strongly because he knew the limits, where to speak strongly, where to not. Like for example, you gave example of Mayavadi. The Prabhupada banned Mayavadi, but another time Prabhupada was himself staying with Mayavadi, and he had good relationship with that Dr. Mishra. So they have never had fight, argument, like they never had, their philosophy was completely different, both of them, but Prabhupada was personally feeding that Mayavadi. So there no arguments there. But at the same time that some examples are there where Prabhupada definitely banned them. So I feel that Prabhupada knew, and then at the same time when there was one example when Prabhupada called somebody rascals and fools, then Prabhupada told his disciples, I can say that because I'm old man, but you cannot say. This is also Prabhupada told. So I feel that not everybody can say what Prabhupada is speaking, because if we just speak like that, we will just only create enemies instead of making the devotees. We just create enemies. So yes, but some devotees can definitely speak because of their purity. It's just my opinion. if they have purity, they can speak, but everybody cannot speak the same thing, because if we keep on telling the same thing, then we will just invite the enemies only. And then
like we may not use such words like rascal and all that, but we can like be stronger in our words, establishing the philosophy. In that way we can be stronger. I feel like that. In that way we can be stronger. Otherwise, if you are like, okay, he's following this bogus guru, it's okay. No, we'll put Bhagavatam set at his home. Then no, he will read one day and he will. We have to tell him, no, this is not right. In some more polite way or more requesting way, but with a strong argumenting, not like argumenting, establishing our philosophy. So in that way, if we present it, that he should understand that, okay, our Krishna consciousness philosophy is against what actually the bogus thing which is following. You should understand this. If you think, okay, no, he is a donor, okay, no problem, then then we are not preaching as it is, what Srila Prabhupada, like how Srila Prabhupada wanted to be. That will be like a compromise. That will be like a compromise. Sorry, bro.
Prabhu, you are saying speaking strongly.
Yeah.
So if we meet some persons sometimes, so they are helping us something with some contributions. So they are all not devotees. They like Krishna, but they are also like they worship different demigods also. They have faith in different demigods, and they have faith in Mayavids also. So if we tell them truth, then they will not help any and they will not accept anything from us.
Okay.
That is there. So how can we apply this in dealing with others also, and like that you can say.
Yes, so his question is like, if we speak nicely to them, they will contribute something to the Lord, and that way they will get benefit.
Yes.
But if we write at first time we speak, you are this rascal, this and that, and then they will not. There is no chance for them to get benefited by the service of the Lord.
That is one level of trying to make them Krishna conscious by engaging their hard-earned money in Krishna's service, so that they may get some spiritual benefit. We are not like trying to make them fully, full-time devotee, brahmachari. That is not our endeavor. Our endeavor is to somehow engage this person in Radha Madhav service, so that someday, when he takes prasadam, when every visit we give him prasadam, we encourage him to chant. So for him we'll give a little lesser dose. But the Mayavadis, who are openly speaking that Krishna is impersonal, so for them we should be against them. Sometimes even donors also may tell, Krishna came in my dream, I speak to Krishna. That's, we should divert, in a polite way, we should divert. We should tell him that, we every day wake up for Krishna early in the morning, we do this, our service, our endeavor to perform devotional service to Krishna. So then he will understand, seeing Krishna is not so easy. Indirectly we should try to explain him that, seeing Krishna is not so. He may be telling so many flowery things, flowery words. That he is very devotional person, that this. So we should understand, and we all know, all the fundraisers know how to deal with the people like that. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu.
As you told very perfectly, somehow we have to connect. When we connect, we have to see our area of interest, their area of interest.
Yeah.
And somehow we can connect them. Because like some people so much after the cows. We after the cows. That is, although they have so many other things which is not in our case. Like take example, Jains, they after cows. So our area of interest, their area of interest is matching on the cow. Others, nothing is matching. And Krishna willing, by serving them, in the name of cow, they'll come to temple, get connected, and other thing will forget in the Krishna consciousness. So there are so many cases. We have to just see area of interest, where it is matching. And when we connect them, naturally because the money is going towards Krishna, it's not the money going, their mind is going. Oh, I had given 1 lakh, what did they do? Let me go to temple and see. No, they came temple, they saw the deities, they had a prasad, they associated with the devotees, they heard something about it, that came inquisitiveness. The next time I'll do more service, more association, and then naturally they'll become like one of us devotees sitting in the class and hearing like this.
It's already too late, but I have one question and comment also. It's nice discussion going on.
Yeah.
The comment is this, that we never had to go into the argument with them, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Anudvek karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam ched vangme tapuchyade. So we have to tell our philosophy to him, but not in a way so that he get agitated and become inimical to us. So we can present in this. And I just had 2 days back one discussion with one of our one property's owner. So he's supposed to pay for the repair, and he said will not pay, and that was somewhere 35,000. So we had heated argument, and I said it is not working now. So I called him in the Seva office, and then I started praising him. What they want actually, Prabhuji, you are so much devotee, we even can't do what you are doing. Then another devotee was praising, he is building hospitals, why don't you do small charity for us? And he agreed. Now he is doing the all repair. This is going on now. It's 1 day back only. So we can praise them that you are already doing so many activities, and after that we don't have to go into arguments that Shiva is big or Durga is big. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever you say, it's good. But we understand, or we believe that in Krishna, he'll not be. This is your priority to worship Durga Devi or any other demigods. We worship Krishna. So in that way we can have harmony with them, and definitely they will pay also. Prabhuji, I have a question that although Yudhishthira Maharaj has been said many times Ajat Shatru, and I agree with this, but I have one doubt like this. We see in Mahabharata, this Karna has chastised him twice at least during the battleground, and he was not able to defeat Yudhishthira Maharaj. So then he asked very raising way that to Arjuna, go and defeat him. And somehow Arjuna was not able to meet him at the battleground and came back without defeating him. So then he got angry on him that why didn't you? So although he is a Ajat Shatru and he is getting angry, so how do we understand it that he don't have any Shatru and getting angry with his own brother like this?
Usually, we know that Kshatriyas, especially in the war time, when they are in the war field, they naturally have this aggressiveness, and otherwise they cannot fight. So in that way, maybe on that principle, maybe he got angry. I think like that.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
have any
yeah,
other
yes.
comments?
Yeah, this is enough. I got
Yes,
it.
sir.
Thank you. And yes.
Actually, Karna insulted Yudhishthira Maharaj very badly on the battlefield. After defeating him, he say, go and learn how to fight. So he was very, very badly insulted in front of his army. So that is why he was very angry. So I think.
And in that way also, yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for having patience. Grandaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.